just in case in the future I forget what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna record this section. So basically, I just downloaded my soft data set, which I'll be using for that exercise. Now I'm gonna upload that data set as attachment. I'm still using a free version, guys. So I'm gonna upload it here. And so he's asking me, how can I help you today? Hey, please help me create a few survey questions based on the data patterns you found in this attached Excel spreadsheet. And also propose 1 to 2 different ways to analyze people's perceptions toward a few brands. So a few survey questions based on data patterns. You found this attached Excel spreadsheet. These questions will be related to airline companies. Okay, so now I want to ask very specific question. Please help me create a few survey questions related to airline companies based on the data patterns you found in this attached Excel spreadsheet, and propose 1 to 2 different ways to analyze people's perceptions toward a few brands. If possible, please propose solutions using R Markdown so that I can document my analysis for me to use in the future. Okay, so now I'm going to click around. And then I'm gonna drink some water, coffee. I come back because this is going to be my personal assistant, my smart friend, which I'm going to rely on every day for the most complex job I can imagine. And I guarantee, it should usually be smarter than me. Okay, let's try to examine. So you see, when I finish typing, now this is only like a few seconds, pretty much like 5 seconds, everything's generated automatically. So now, guys, you can go back to my, tutorial, which I developed maybe 4 years ago, and see, what something might have changed. Is this solution here better than the one I did 4 or 5 years ago? Does it make sense to use this one or the original tutorial I posted in the learning management system? Okay, so that being said, again, this is the prompt I used. This is a real solution, let's say Claude just generated. Again, the reason I'm using Claude is that Claude is also created by ChatGPT or OpenAI's previous founders. So basically, they're like brothers compete with each other. And in many levels, I heard Claude is more reliable, especially when it comes to complex data analysis or programming. And as then you see here, it has 2 parts. Because I asked for 2 parts. He didn't miss anything. He definitely passed the exam. Okay, he's not gonna fail. Probably he's gonna get A or A plus. Let's say if he's gonna get A or A plus. If he gets an A or A plus, then you guys can always hire this guy to help you, right? So let's take a look. So he's gonna tell me, okay, first one with let's say all cap let's say titles, sections, and also, numerical, let's say bullet points. Okay. So overall satisfaction rating on scale 1 to 5, how would you rate your overall experience, right? Satisfaction. Then considering the ticket price, services provided, how would you rate the value for money? Oh my goodness, the second question is really, really good. The first question is also really, really good because I think I just couldn't change any one single word. And also both of these questions are so useful, right? And the third question, convenience assessment. And then, questions here, all of the answers, options I need to incorporate to my survey. Number 4, service quality. Number 5, digital experience. And then advanced perception tracking, comparative perception, and then loyalty and recommendation. And then finally, open-ended insights. So this is the first part. Second part, R Markdown for airline survey analysis. Okay, so you see, let's say here, this is a syntax section, libraries that to be used as a data set to be filed. And then, let's say the data set, all of the variables. And then finally, you let's say compare these perceptions. Now the good thing is that, you already built some strong foundation. So now my job for you guys will be, let's say, I want you guys to compare my solution with the solution given by ChatGPT. If you can compare, give me a valid, argument at the beginning of this class, share with me which solution is a little bit easier to understand. And also, let's say, how can you explain to a beginner? I would consider giving you up to half a bonus point, okay? Up to half a bonus point, especially for those of you who missed some classes, this would be a good opportunity for you to catch up. So yeah, and rely on your best friend, which would be either ChatGPT or Claude, or maybe a different AI software to help you until you get the most satisfactory solutions, answers, and the responses. And, unless they ask you to pay money, just keep, typing your prompts and see what solutions I can get. You see it's free and also it's so reliable. And I think, if you hire a tutor, it may take hours for you to get something, right? So now, let's say I'm going to add one more prompt. Explain this R Markdown syntax to absolute beginner, please. Okay. So you see, I'm going to ask him to explain this syntax to absolute beginner in a user-friendly way. Okay, absolute beginner means, as long as you know how to read English articles from New York Times, any other websites, you should be doing all right. Okay, so let's say first section, R Markdown for absolute beginners. It tells why do you want to use this? What's a header? Right? What do these lines mean? They are so confusing. Explain to me. What does this special R code mean? It means generate a code so you can create a date for today automatically, right? And let's say in the next section, code chunk, x equals to 5 plus 3. Print it. The answer, 8, right? You already built some foundation, you see, let's say, and then, let's say markdown text. Now you can write normal text using markdown formatting, right? Head 1, heading 1, 1 hashtag, heading 2, 2 hashtags, or 2 pound keys. Both text, okay? Another bullet points, as bullet point after bullet point. Our chunk names include equals force. What does that mean, right? It's already explained in the section, named the R code, but don't show in final document. Yeah, okay. So that being said, you run that code, but that code will not be included in your output. So basically, finally gives you a basic example. So, let's say, what does this really mean, right? What does this really mean? So now I'm still not happy with his explanation. So sorry. I was asking you to explain the perceptual mapping R Markdown document you created minutes ago. Can you do that? I want to be a little bit polite, so he's still going to let me use it for free, okay? Hopefully, because you understand that if you use it for especially like Claude, it's highly intelligent software, so they're gonna start charging you in a few hours, okay? So this is basically what he did. I'm going to ask him, my good friend. I'm gonna call him my good friend. And he did that syntax a few minutes ago. And now, I'm asking you to explain to me. Originally, he was a little bit dumb. He thought I was asking him to, explain what R Markdown is. I know that. I don't need it. So I was asking him to explain, the new perceptual mapping syntax he wrote a few minutes ago. And then he said, okay, this is document header. Great. And what each section of this document header actually means in plain English language, okay? And then setup chunk, okay, that's a setup chunk. Now I know, right? So my professor taught me at the beginning of the semester, but he was very confusing. It was very confusing and it was hard for me to understand, not because the Claude or ChatGPT, I understand it better, okay? So now you include the false means this code runs, but doesn't show in the final document, right? So now see, each line of syntax can be explained using plain English language. So make sure until you understand, okay? Next one, data import. If you don't import data, you're gonna get an error, right? Next one, descriptive analysis. How do you do descriptive analysis? Next one, summarize, right? Next one, missing values. What if I have missing value? Right? He don't understand what situation you might encounter. He tried to help you as much as he can. And then, let's say what the next following section really means, because he seems that he was trying to generate radar chart, which is probably a little bit more complex. I didn't do that in my analysis. I'm going to actually implement, try to do some experiment before this Wednesday, okay? And then finally, he did a comparative analysis, probably graph, right? He used deeply R. So if you don't know what these confusing signs mean, let's say, there are 2 percentage signs, and then, also greater than sign in between. So I'm going to ask him again. You used this sign. I know it's deeply R. So I just want to make sure I show you. What does it? Someone ask him to explain. Explain to a beginner. Okay, so now he's going to explain, what this pipe operator is. This is pipe operator available in deeply R. Okay, and you see here, what it really works, how it works. Okay, and what it really means. Okay, why you want to use it? Readability, simplicity, and also easily helps you connecting different operations. Okay. I think deeply R is actually a class, you can take, a course you can take at data camp as well, okay? I think I personally didn't agree with his answer a little bit because I think, is this also, is this originally from deeply R? I personally do not fully agree with your solution. So he thought it's origin from Hardy words, but I think it's origin from deeply R. Okay. So I said, I think now he found the right solution. It's actually originally from deeply R. Oh, he said it was not originally created by deeply R. Oh, maybe I'm wrong, but I need to do a search. So I'm going to do a Google search, because I always thought, that this function is from deeply R. Okay. Now I'm going to ask Google, because I think he's making a mistake. So I'm going to ask Google if this is actually from deeply R. Deeply R is this science from deeply R. Okay. So that being said, see here, Google actually shows me that this is from deeply R. So anyway, contradictory results. Same, maybe, Claude was just trying to, you know, combine something from a website and it's not accurate. I think originally they say from DeeplyR. Oh, the original package is still this one. So that being said again, so it's a DeeplyR package, but you know, it's a DeeplyR function, but the original is from this package. Okay, so maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Okay, anyway, so I finished my, you know, let's say, introduction using Claude for very basic questionnaire design, and also let's say code generation or data analysis, which means, you know, you can keep asking questions until he's tired, but he's not going to be tired. And he's going to continue our solutions based on his understanding. And most time, I think, you know, you can probably do some minor revisions to see what's going on. So that being said, I'm not going to try to use his syntax right away. I'm going to do some homework. I hope to bring, you know, some thoughts and ideas back to the class this Wednesday. Okay. So I think that's my recording of my experience using maybe, you know, ChatGPT. No, not ChatGPT, Claude for this exercise. I hope you found it to be useful because, you know, I think this is going to be your best friend for the next few decades. It's not going to disappear overnight. Okay.